Hey, what's up everyone? My name is Don, and today I'm going to be showing you how to get to your thermostat on a Mark II Golf. This model is a 1.8 liter 8 valve. Alright, so changing the thermostat on the Golf Mark II. A couple bolts that need to come out is this one, this pivot bolt right here. Nut will be attached on this side, the bolt head's right there. The water pump is right there. That's the guy that we're trying to get to. We're taking off this power assist pump bracket. And on the bottom, it's going to be a couple other things. Alright, so at the bottom of the car, you're going to be taking out, once you can see the bracket, which is this guy right here, you're going to be taking out this bolt, I believe this bolt, and another one is on the side here. This guy here, he's going to be coming out. I believe that's the tensioner bolt. Yeah, and that guy is going to be coming out as well. Then you can swing that off and get to water pump. We didn't mean to turn it around. And then you can get to the water pump, which is right up in there. It's that guy there at the end of my finger. Fun stuff. So next, if you're looking at the car from the passenger side, you're going to want to take out this tensioner bolt. This will loosen everything up so that you can remove the belt, so that you can actually swing the power assist bracket down. The next two bolts that you're going to want to take out are here. And on the opposite right here, you can see the end of that bolt just on the inside right here. So let's just get a light in there so you can see a little better. So it's going to be this bolt right here, the bolt right on the other side, which you can see the end of right on the inside right there. So looking at things from the front, you're actually able to get a wrench on the bottom two bolts of the power steering bracket, or power assist pump bracket. Anyways, so one of them is right here, and the other one is going to be, let's get the camera and the light in there. The other one is right here. Just get the camera way down there. So you can see both the bolts, and you can actually get a wrench on both sides. And then the other bolt you're going to want to take off is way here at the back, this guy back here, which is attached to your tensioner bolt, this guy right here. So if you're coming in from the side of the car, what you're going to see is one last bolt that's going to be tucked behind. See if I can get a light on it. The wrench is on it right now, but it's going to be tucked behind the pulley, the power steering pulley. And let's see if we can get a light on it. There we go, so you can sort of see it there. That's kind of hidden, but you can get to it with a 13-inch spanner wrench from the side of the vehicle when it's not jacked up. So you can see the wrench in there. That's how you're going to get to that one. Okay, so once you've taken out that 13 mil bolt, focus please. Alright, so once you've taken out that 13 mil bolt, you can then drop your power steering pump and deal with everything else in there. So let's go back up to the top and see what we can see. Okay, so now that we got that 13 mil bolt out of this hole right here, that allows us to remove the power steering pump. And then all I did was take my big hammer, which is right here, this big guy, and I hit on the bottom of this bracket right here because it wouldn't budge, and we're trying to get it to move up here. The bolt won't come out of this hole, so this side of the bracket now has nothing attaching it except this area here. So all I did was hit it a couple times here just to get the bracket to swivel, just so I know that's moving on this side. And now we're gonna just try to wedge it off slowly. So see what we can do. So back at the top side here, if I move this bracket at the bottom, see if I can just zoom in a little bit. Right here, so if I move this bracket, you can see that the threads aren't moving on the bolt, but this bracket is moving freely. So that tells me that these two, this outer little washer looking bit and the actual bracket are one piece, just so you guys know. and it tells me the bolt's stuck in here. I know the bolt's stuck in here because on this side, we've also got this bracket moving freely, even though I can't get my finger around to move it right now. Maybe I can. Okay, there. You saw it move. The head is able to move, but since obviously the bolt is one piece and it being seized here, what I see happen when I try to crank lefty loosen on this side is that I can see the bolt in its little channel here kind of twisting towards the left all the way till about here. So I can see twisting from here all the way till about here, and then it stops because I guess obviously the torque that I'm putting into it isn't transferring all the way through the bolt. So what I got to do, I think, now that I have the power steering pump dropped, is I'm just going to heat the hell out of this section now that I'm not worried about the car catching on fire or anything. And after I heat this up, then I'm going to try to either hit on the end of the nut here. I put the nut back on the bolt because I don't want to damage the threads. Not that I'm going to reuse this bolt or anything, but you know, I don't want the end of the bolt flaring out and then getting caught and not being able to exit through the hole. So I put the nut back on, just give me a flat surface to hit, and I'm just going to heat the hell out of this area, this whole area now. I have a mag torch beside me, and hopefully that works. So let's get to it. All right, so I turn my light down just a little bit so you can see the mag torch there going in that area. And there we go. All I'm really trying to do is heat up the area, both sides, a couple minutes here, and then I'll try to get the hammer on it. Get the hammer on the bolt on the nut end and see if I can get it to budge. So I just ran the heat on the nut side and bolt for a little bit right over here, and now I'm gonna put my 13 mil on the head side here. So we can get that on with one hand, perfect. And let's see if we can get this guy to move. I think we got it to move there. Yeah, we definitely got it to move there. Okay, so finally got that bracket off. Basically, that bracket was down on here like this. It was pretty stuck on there. I had to wedge it off, kind of like, if I can get you an angle here. I had to just kind of wedge it off like that. It eventually came off. Put that to the side. All right, so now, let's zoom all the way in so you can see how bad that really is. All right, so you can see there the bolt behind. It's pretty gummed up. Thing's pretty gross, but it's spinning freely now, and I kind of pushed it back far enough so that there is a little bit of a gap, just the tiniest bit of a gap between the bracket here and the end of the head. So you can see the play in there now. So now I can get a wedge in between the head of the bolt and the bracket and start working it out. So I brought my tools. We've got, just got a hammer here. We're using a tiny little pry bar. And if I need something a bit longer, we've got this tie rod breaker here. So I'm just gonna get the fire back on it. You can see the bolt down there with the nut on it. Basically, I'm just trying to get some more fire in there just to heat it up again, because I don't have much swinging room for a hammer on the left side of the end of the bolt. So basically, I'm just trying to loosen it up there so I can get a wedge on the opposite side. Where'd my light go? There we go. So I can get a wedge on the opposite side and start to pull the bolt head out. So we'll do this for about 5 minutes and then see where we're at. So if we look back underneath the car, you're gonna see the power steering pump there. And then if we look up right above the halfway point on the oil pan, that's gonna be the thermostat housing. On this car, it's metal or aluminum. It's not a plastic housing, which is awesome. I expected to see plastic, and it's my first time in doing the thermostat on this car, so I didn't think that this was the right spot for it, because in everybody else's job I see plastic on when you take the hose off. So let me just get my hand up here. When you take the hose off, you normally see plastic from the top. You can see this little end, but on this one it's aluminum, so that's awesome. Should be no leaks. But those are the two 10 mil bolts, one right there, one right there. You take those out and then you'll see your thermostat up in here. All right, so once you have the two 10 mil nuts loose, You're going to want to take this out fairly slowly, because if your thermostat, like mine, is closed shut, then all the coolant behind it should just be ready to gush out as soon as you get the thermostat out. So I'm going to get a little pan beneath here and then get ready to take this bolt out. Okay, so once you got those two bolts out, you should just be able to pry her loose. Right on. That'll never go bad. And now this guy. Well, she came out way nicer than I thought. Wow, it's clean in there. Wow. That was something. All right then.
All right, so if you liked that video, comment, like, and/or subscribe, and hit that notification bell for more content in the future.